Hi everyone, out here on Hickory Island, out on the beach, checking it out. Sands and water just look awesome, really restoring nicely. I'm sure you can hear the waves. The homes up along the, right on the beach, most of the newer homes are really coming back nice. There are a few older homes that obviously did not survive, even some of them that were stilted up. A few still need to be demoed, but getting that cleared out, this island is really starting to come back and starting to look for its pre-storm condition. It's really nice to see that. In spite of the storms, the sea turtles are back. They've been nesting, and so if you're down here, give birth to the nesting areas that they've got staked out. Watch for the tracks so we haven't got them staked, and watch the lights at night. It confuses the turtles. We want to keep the lights down at night, but it's good to see the wildlife is coming back too. Guess what? Lovers Key State Park is open. Drive in and see how things look and how much I believe that we can get to the beach. But we're not able to utilize some of the facilities yet in the park. Some of those have to be rebuilt yet, but I believe the bridge is open and you do have access to the beach. We'll find out shortly. I'm so excited driving in. It's amazing how much the foliage has recovered. Cleanup has gone very well. The amount of effort that it took to get this, there was a gopher tortoise, to get this cleaned up and reopened. For a long time they couldn't even get equipment in. Bridges were all out. They've got temporary facilities here until they can get the permanent facilities rebuilt. But for those of us who love the beautiful state park here, it's pretty awesome to realize that it's coming back already. Hi folks, I am out on Lovers Key. It is open, the bridges are open, the tram is running. The beaches are quiet today. It's kind of a cloudy, steamy day, probably about 110 heat index, but at least it feels better with a nice breeze off the water here. Quite remarkable walking in. The foliage is still a little thin here right on the beach. The center of the key is remarkable in how much it is recovered and restored. The mangroves are so resilient, and the trash was like non-existent. They have done such an awesome job of cleaning up and getting the beach back in order and all the back mangroves all cleared out. Still work to be done on the restrooms and the visitor center and such, but it is just so cool to see it all open. It's going to be ready for this season. You guys are going to love it. It's just like old times. Many of you fans of the South Mid-Island are also fans of Santini Plaza. Happy to report that the roofs are on, the structures are sound, doors and windows are in, and they're starting to work on the interior units. A lot of your favorites are coming back. A couple of them have moved, and there's a couple open spots yet. So I figure out, try to keep track of what's going on, who's going to end up in there. A lot of people are concerned the hardware store is not coming back apparently. It would be a shame to have to go clear off the island for hardware, but remains to be seen. Maybe they'll locate someplace else. But a lot of your Sky's Sandbar, the ice cream shop, they're all coming back. So this is going to regrow and all be new, be wonderful. In case you're wondering, there are some businesses either opening or restoring right here on Times Square. See Margaritaville coming up in the distance there. We're right in the heart of Times Square. There's a building that's more in the restoration phase, but obviously got all new windows and doors, be structurally sound. We get down to Old San Carlos. There's some of the buildings still need a lot of back off a little bit. You see, some of them still need quite a bit of work. But there are Yucatan and some of the other restaurants down the way are open, as well as some of the businesses. Okay, I had to stop down in the Times Square area to get a nice cold drink and something to eat, and so I ended up down at Snug Harbor. Snug Harbor is one of quite a few restaurants that are open down here now. Beautiful afternoon, beautiful day. They just had a grouper fishing contest over the last weekend. That's what the stage setup is for. So they're starting to have more events and more activities down here. Things are really coming around. Well, while the beach is really looking nice and some of the businesses are coming back, I really wish I could say something more positive about the downtown area. Obviously the pier is still in shambles, concrete pilings laying around. But again, the beach is looking clean, the water's getting clearer all the time, businesses are coming back, people are coming back to enjoy it. It will rebuild. It's just, this is probably the saddest area that I've visited in this trip. It hits me this way every time. It's hard to believe that it's all gone after all this time. But I'm siding with those that talk about it building back better than ever. Newer, some of the restaurants and stores and some of the housing was really getting a little ragged, a little long in the tooth. They're definitely not up to code. Really couldn't withstand the storm. So it needs to be built back with more storm resistant, but still be able to give us a little bit of that beach vibe and a little bit of the quaintness that is Fort Myers Beach. So it's not all sad. Like I said, things are coming back. It's just going to take time.